Hello, everybody. I'm Robin with Scaling Up, and I'm here with the amazing Sadie Smith, one of our newest in-house trainers. And we're excited to be talking together today, answering a few questions for you all. For if you're curious about taking a training with Sadie, this information in this video, I think, will help you make your decision. Sadie, thank you so much for joining me today. Will you please take a couple of moments just to share a tiny bit about you, where you're at, what kind of work you do in the field?
Yeah, hi Robin. Always lovely to see you as well. Working with Scaling Up is always just such a pleasure. So I'm Sadie Smith, and I'm an EMDR therapist in Denver, Colorado. I have a private practice here where I specialize in EMDR intensives, and the material in this training is absolutely essential to the work that I do. And so being one of the trainers to help other clinicians pick up this material, I'm really excited about doing. So I was trained in EMDR back in 2010 and am now a approved consultant. And I also am a basic trainer for HAP and doing a lot of work with that as well.
Awesome. Wonderful. So you're going to be doing some trainings with Scaling Up in the advanced EMDR protocols for recent event and ongoing traumatic experiences, the protocols that Dr. Nacho Herrero and his team have developed. And so we want to ask a couple of questions so folks can get to know you a little bit more. What are the things that you want folks to know about your training style?
So before I became a therapist, this is career number 3 for me. I was a high school teacher. So working with that classroom feel, I very much enjoy, but making adult learners very much benefit from experiential learning and conversation and very interactive. Lots of questions, lots of role play, lots of exploring things, and very interactive style of teaching. I was not really a classroom teacher. I was a music teacher, so I'm good at running rehearsals. And so but bringing that style into the learning classroom with a lot of experience in using Nacho's protocols. I've been doing them for a handful of years now, and I use them quite extensively in lots of different contexts. And so part of it is being able to share stories about how I've used them, both success stories and failures, as well as participants that can share some of that and really making it applicable to your practice.
Awesome. So it sounds like participants can expect an element of participation with each other and with you, and an interactive approach along with some storytelling, keeping it real. What are some other things that people can expect of the training and learning experience with you?
Yeah, very interactive and lots of questions. Again, it's helping people synthesize and being able to create that internal working model in their head of how am I going to leave this training and know how to start implementing this in my practice. And the training covers several different protocols and procedures. 2 of them are group protocols that we often don't have a lot of experience doing. And so part of my goal is to get people comfortable enough with the material that they can start envisioning how they can implement this, as well as the individual procedures, protocols that they can implement in their practice right away. So giving them real world experiences, giving them ideas, but also talking to them about things I've done, what worked, what didn't work, and really getting people excited about implementing this material. It's not hard to do because it's wonderful material and people love it. But that's my goal, is to help people feel competent and capable, and that they have this internal idea of how they can start using what they're going to learn in the training.
Yeah, so helping people make the connections and begin to dream a little bit about how they can maybe start applying these protocols, especially the group ones, because you said don't get a lot of experience with group work, especially in the EMDR realm. Helping them envision how they can start it now, perhaps maybe even the week after the training, or maybe a couple of weeks if they need to collaborate with some other folks and in group stuff. So that's awesome. I think that's really helpful because people often will go to a training and have kind of this fire hose of information, but not a lot of guidance in how to apply this in these different situations. And how can I begin to think through what the next steps are for me, so I actually start using this sooner than later?
Right. And there's the scaling up has built in a support network around using these protocols. So beyond the training, and what you'll get from me as the trainer is networking with other clinicians at the training like we all do, but the Hive and the network that Kelly has created that Scaling Up also offers, there's a lot more support than just being at the training. And like you said, having the fire hose of information and then maybe meeting a colleague or two that you connect with, that's all fabulous. But there are lots of other steps. So part of my goal in helping you feel not only competent with the material, but knowing what your resources are for being able to connect with people who are also wanting to do this work, whether it's around peer support and group work, or just in peer learning type situations, and be very aware of what your resources are and what's available to you.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Yeah. What do you feel, or what do you hope your training participants will feel upon completing the training?
Inspired and excited. Competency is really the main thing, where they feel like they have action steps. When I walk into my practice next week, I want to do this with this client, or I want to try this protocol with this client, or I want to start talking to so-and-so about organizing some group work, or how do I do this? So I want them to be on fire with excitement and ideas, that they feel competent enough with the material from the training that they get excited about possibilities. So I would say in 2 words, competency and fire or excitement.
Yeah, love it. Love it. So we're going to switch gears just a tiny bit. What are 2 things that bring you joy these days?
There's a lot. It's not hard to do for me. I really will say, this is going to sound so cliche and like it's, written for this video, and it's really not. But I really love the work that I do. I tell people all the time, I have the best job on the face of the planet. And I've worked really hard to cultivate that in a way that works for me. But having this material and really watching quality trauma work happen does bring me a lot of joy. And I know I'm not alone. I know there are many of you that also feel that way. So very not clinically, so something that brings me joy. And part of my self-care regime is whatever, is I'm a dancer. So I'm a very social tango dancer. When I say social, I mean very not fancy. And so it's a social thing. It's where I get out and connect with people who are not involved in the clinical world that I live in a lot of time, and being able to connect with other people in a nonverbal way, because we as therapists do so much connecting with people, but it's a one-way street. We're connecting with the client, but it's going in one direction for the most part. When I go to tango, it's a reciprocal communication that happens between 2 people non-verbally, and that really lights me up, and it's just fun. So.
Yeah. Oh, how great. Thank you for taking a few moments today to share with us a little bit about what folks can expect when they take a training with you. And everyone, you can look forward to learning more about Sadie and the training schedule that she has coming up over at scalingupemdr.com. And we will see you again soon.
Look
Thank
forward
you.
to meeting all of you. Take care.
Take care.